Good morning, Year 2. So for today's spelling lesson, we're going to go back to adding the suffixes and est, which is something we started doing last week. Now, when you add to a word, you're making a comparative because you're comparing something. So you're saying that fruit is bigger than that one. It's a comparison. When you add est, it's called a superlative, because you're saying that is the biggest one of all. So you're saying it's the superlative, it's the biggest. Now remember, there were some different rules for when you added these suffixes to words. So I want you to have a look at these examples. So big, bigger, biggest is done for you at the top because you've already done that one. And I want you to have a go at adding them to large, cute, tall, tasty and shiny. See if you can remember the rules for adding each suffix. Let's see if you remembered the rules. So we're going to start off with large. Now large ends in an E, so you don't have to add another E. So larger, you're just putting the R on the end. And largest, it's a judge word, you just put the ST because you already have the E, you don't have to double the E. Cute also ends in an E. Now, I wonder if anyone accidentally doubled the consonant. You don't have to, because that is a long U sound. Cute is a long sound. It's not cut, it's cute. So you don't double the consonant. So if you accidentally did that, you can cross out that extra T because you don't need it. Tall. Now, tall already has got double letters, so you don't have to double anything else. You just add to make taller, and you just add est to make tallest. Now, tasty has got one of those tricky Y's. So hopefully you remembered, you say goodbye to that Y and hello to an I, and that makes tastier. And then we've got tastiest, which is a very tricky thing to say. And last of all, shiny, which is always causes problems, shiny. So the same thing, you say goodbye to the Y. It does look very strange when you write it like that. That's shinier. I'll have to write this one down the bottom. Shiniest. I'm just going to show you an example of a comparative and a superlative in a sentence. So we've got the mango was juicy, the papaya was juicier, but the pineapple was the juiciest of them all. So as a challenge, you could maybe see if you could put 3 of those words into a sentence. Think of maybe your friends. You could do tall, taller, tallest. Or you could think of your friends and do cute, cuter, cutest. So see if you can use them in a sentence. It could be comparing African animals, couldn't it? Because you could use a comparative and then a superlative. All right, let's have a look at some more of the Flanimals book. So this one's called an offal dermis. Born completely inside out, lives inside itself to avoid its own smell. And if you look at the picture, it does look like it's something that's inside out. We've got completely there. Let's sort of spot the adverb. This is the plumboid Doppler. This lumpy squint sack is both wormily turgid and yet slumpily flemble at the same time. Apart from this, it's totally normal. So we've got totally, which is a real adverb, slumpily, which isn't. I'm not sure wormily is either. So he's made up 2, but then he's used a real one at the same time. And this is a blimble sprint. This creature sprints around blimbly in every direction, always avoiding its destination. After it's been around in circles for many miles, it dies from exhaustion in the exact place that it started. And then here we've got the glonk, does absolutely nothing and dies. And we've got an absolutely in there. Did we have one in this one? We've got a blimbly, we've got another made up one. Now that's the end of the first chapter, and the next chapter is called Flanimal Behaviour. So just like a real science book, it now talks about what they do. So the Flemping Bunt Himmler in Mernimbler's nest. Baby Mernimbler halfway through transformation. So we were right. These baby Mernimblers, that is halfway to them turning to an adult, and there's the picture with the horrible toenails in it. The world record for the quickest a Flemping Bunthimmler has been ripped to bits by mer nibblers is 12 seconds. As it climbed into the nest, it foolishly commented on how cute the mer nibblers were. The adult and baby mer nibbler weigh the same. This makes the baby mer nibbler the densest flanimal on the planet. And so there it's turned into the adult and it's eating the Flemping that was hiding in the nest. Here we've got a Grundit kicking a gum spudlet and a Grundit about to ride a puddleflage. The puddleflage hates being ridden by the Grundit. That's why the Grundit does it. If the Grundit jumping on the puddleflage is too big for it, the pressure can pop the puddleflage's eyes out. The furthest a pair has popped out is 19 feet. The puddleflage couldn't pick them up as it couldn't see them. And this is a herd of blunging. Blunging are social creatures and live in herds. When fully grown, they are the fastest of the flanimals, so fear no predator. Baby blungings are not so fast and taste brilliant. Two more. Clunge ambler being attacked by a gang of sprogs. No reason for this, they're just vicious. And this is a newborn flamglottis. Everyone finds newborn babies messy, disgusting little creatures, apart from the mother, that is. This is not the case with a newborn flamglottis. Its mother finds it disgusting too. And there's a Muntiflumple staring at a puddleflage. The puddleflage looks worried. The puddleflage always looks worried. And this is a baby Muntiflumple. A baby Muntiflumple is the cutest thing in the universe. Don't you just want to squeeze its head and bite its face? The adult mer nibbler does. And there's a Grundit stamping on a coddleflop. This is one of the Grundit's favourite pastimes. Looks cruel, doesn't it? The thing is, it's nothing personal. It just likes the sound they make as they squelch, then pop. And last of all, a sleeping honk. Today is our final day finishing off our creature report about our flanimal that we've created. So hopefully by now you've written a bit about what they look like, a bit about where they live, a bit about what they eat. You might have had time to talk about their family as well. Now the next bit is my favourite bit, and that is unusual habits. I think that's the bit that the author of Flanimals, Ricky Gervais, I think that's the bit he enjoyed the most, because on nearly all of his little descriptions there's some sort of unusual habit that his creature had. So I've gone back to my Squifflepop and had a think about what they might do, what crazy sort of features they might have. Unusual habits. The Squifflepop can bounce on its bibbles over 5 metres in the air. It does this every time it sees a puddle because it's terrified of getting its feet wet and drowning. Never creep up on a Squifflepop. They have toxic spit which will dissolve your clothes and turn your skin green for at least a week. So those were my ideas. So I've gone back to some of the features like the bibbles, and I've used a because. So I thought they could bounce on their bibbles, and then I remembered that they breathe through their feet. And so they would be terrified of getting their feet wet because then they wouldn't be able to breathe. So that was my first idea. And then this one, the never creep up, maybe sort of come up with some sort of warning about them. So I decided that mine have toxic spit, which is a bit disgusting. Yours could be a nicer thing. So it doesn't have to be a warning. It could be something nice. So I want you to come up with 2 ideas, 2 unusual habits or unusual features of your creature, something that makes them really special, almost like a superpower. Can they run really fast? Can they sleep for 3 weeks at a time? So anything that makes them a bit special, and try and use a because you're explaining. So you're explaining why this thing is special, and so you can use a because to help you explain.